We are going to look at the song Bounce High. So before we really get started on reading this on our recorder, I want us to look at a couple things. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to notice this clef right here. That's our treble clef, as you know, and that's just telling us the names of the line and the space notes. So we've got line notes and we have space notes. And when we are in treble clef, we are going to read it like this. So give me a thumbs up, put your fingers out. We always read from the bottom to the top. So our fingers are going to be our line notes and our spaces are going to be between our fingers. So go ahead and say this poem with me. E, G, B, D, F. These are the lines of the treble clef. Now we're going to go to that bottom space. F, A, C, E. It's as easy as can be. So now we're going to look at this right here. This is our time signature. That's telling us that there are 2 beats in every measure. So a measure is the distance or the space between these bar lines. So here are my bar lines, and these 2 notes right in between the 2 bar lines are part of the measure. So that's 1 measure. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this and see if you can figure out how many measures this song has. It's a really short song, but let's see if we can figure out how many measures. So go ahead and look at it first, see if you can figure it out on your own, and then we'll check. All right, so we have our first measure is this one right here. So this is measure 1. Then there's a bar line. This is measure 2, bar line. 3 is right there, bar line, and then it's 4. So there are 4 measures in this song. It's a really short song. Now let's go ahead and look at this first note, which I'd already actually colored in. So this first note, is it a line note or is it a space note? It is a space note. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to figure out what space is it on. And since we always read from the bottom to the top, let's go ahead and count them. That's space number 1, space number 2, space number 3. So it is on our 3rd space. So if you pull out your hand staff, here's our bottom space, 2 and 3. And our spaces spell a word. It spells the word face. So F, A, C. So our first note right here is going to be the note C. On our recorder, it looks like this. So you're going to put your thumb and your middle finger together. Thumb goes on the back hole. Middle finger counts down 2 holes, and your pointer finger still lifts up. This is our high C. This is the very first note of our song, Bounce High. So there we go. I'm going to erase these markings again. And before we play the rest of our song, let's go ahead and just read the rhythm with our tas and tatis. So starting at the beginning, it starts with ta, and there's only 1 measure that has any tatis. The rest of it is just ta. So I'm going to count us off and read it with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta. So I'm going to go ahead and say the whole thing now. Make sure you check your answer. Hopefully you said what I'm about to say. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta-ti, ta-ti, ta, ta. So that's the rhythm of our song. When we start playing our notes, we need to make sure that we're playing that rhythm. So we're going to be starting on our C. So make sure you've got your C ready to go. You can put your recorder in practice position. And then it goes up to our newest note, which is not the A, it is our D. So I probably should have had us count up the lines. So here's our first line. Let's go ahead and mark those lines, and we'll do that in green. So here's line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4. So this sits on the 4th line. So E, G, B, D. So our D is on the 4th line. It is a line note. The line is going through the head of the note. So just look at that really closely again. That is our D. So we're going to go from our C, and the way we play our D is we are going to lift that thumb off. So the only hole that we're covering is that 2nd hole. So here's our C. Go from your C. Now lift off your thumb. You have to make sure you're using both hands on this recorder to play our D. And it goes up higher. See how the D sits higher on our staff? It also sounds higher. All right, so now that we've figured out that the first notes are C and D, this next note we've already seen before. It's our C again, but then we go down to this. Is that a space note or a line note? It's a space note, and it is on the second space. So if we spell our word face, F-A. So this is going to be our A. This song, Bounce High, has 3 notes in it. It's the C, the D, and the A. So now that we figured that out, we can figure out the whole song. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Let's just look at those first 2 measures, these 2 right here. So we're going to start on our C. Make sure you're not covering that top hole. 1, 2, ready, go. Thumb comes off. Now go back to the C on the second measure. And go down to the A. Try that a few times just so you get used to feeling going up to the D, back to the C, and down to the A. Here we go again. Ready, go. If that's not comfortable for you yet, you can pause this video and try it until it is comfortable. Once you've got it, let's look at the last half of the song, measures 3 and 4. Now, one thing that's really helpful when you're learning a new piece of music is to see if you can find patterns. And this song has a really clear pattern. We've already played C, D, C, A. This measure goes C, C, D, D, C, A. It is almost exactly the same as the first 2 measures. The only difference is instead of playing 1 C, see how we play C, D, this time we have tati. So it's C, C, D, D, but then this measure and this measure are the same. So really, if you've got the first 2 measures, you're pretty much on your way to knowing the entire song. So let's start on measure 3. Get your C ready to go and see if you can play it with me. Ready, go. How did you do? If you need to practice it, go ahead and pause it again. After you've practiced that in chunks, maybe you even need to practice it 1 measure at a time instead of what we just did with 2 measures at a time. Once you've really got it, then you can try the whole song. So here's the whole song. Go ahead and pause it and practice it, or see if you can play it with me. I'm going to go ahead and sing the song now, just so that you know what it sounds like. Probably most of you already know how it goes with our words. Bounce high, bounce low, bounce the ball to Shiloh. All right, make sure you get on Seesaw and post yourself playing this song. I cannot wait to see this.